Of course, international politics has been clouded by the war in Gaza of late. And this week's BRICS group of nations meeting had that same humanitarian nightmare on its agenda. The group firmly maintained its stance and called for a ceasefire of all hostilities. This is a follow-up to the United Nations resolution or lack of such due to double standards from the West. As the debate rages on, members of the BRICS also on the headlines. And of course, Professor Anil, Sooklal, BRICS ambassador at large, now joins us on the news. Thank you so much for your time. Okay,
Thank
great.
you. Thank you so much for having me.
Now, what the BRICS members agree on at its emergency virtual meeting this Tuesday? What exactly was agreed upon?
Well, I think firstly, it was felt that it was important for the BRICS countries, including the 6 new members that have been invited to join BRICS, to reflect on the dire situation in Gaza and for BRICS to also join the global community in articulating its views on the situation in Gaza. What was subsequently agreed upon, as noted in the chair's summary of the meeting, was the unanimous call by all BRICS members for an immediate and comprehensive ceasefire, for the release of hostages, the call by BRICS countries to all the countries to exercise restraint and not further exacerbate the very dire situation, to also look at the resumption of a comprehensive dialogue directly between the Palestinians and the Israelis under the auspices of the United Nations. And also they spoke of a UN rapid deployment force in Gaza to oversee the peace process. So I think there was a unanimous call that the violence must cease, a humanitarian pause must be implemented as per the decision of the recent United Nations Security Council Resolution 2712, so that the suffering could be eased through a humanitarian corridor.
Now, the earlier proposed ceasefire and prisoner exchange meant for Thursday has been moved to Friday, according to the US and, of course, Israel. Now, did they give any reasons for this?
We're not aware of any reasons. All we have noted a recent announcement that the ceasefire will come into being at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, Friday, the 24th of November. We welcome this. I think it's a positive development. Of course, it's a complex situation, and perhaps working out the mechanics and logistics was part of the reason for the postponement.
All right. Now, I would also like to ask, I mean, as an association, should this particular ceasefire, maybe not happen, what is the next line of action? And also, what is the association doing to sort of assist with humanitarian efforts, at the ongoing war there at Gaza?
Well, most of the BRICS countries have been providing humanitarian assistance. You saw this from India, from China, from Egypt. So I think there is a concerted effort to ease the humanitarian situation, and there was a call from all BRICS countries to assist in this regard. Right. We are hoping that this humanitarian pause that's been announced for 4 days, effective from tomorrow, is not just a pause, that it becomes a lasting peace. That is the call from the BRICS leaders, and I believe that's the call from the majority of the countries, from the international community, because what we are seeing is the undue suffering of innocent lives being lost in Gaza, especially women, children, and babies. And I think, as some of the leaders, President Ramaphosa himself called this a genocide, and the world community cannot stand by to watch such a dire situation unfolding before us.
Of course, now let's move to membership and, of course, the future of BRICS. We also understand that South Africa and also new members like Egypt and Nigeria was actually looking to join, at some point. Let's talk about the impact of this. The association right now, the community is becoming broad, welcoming new members. What impact will this have on the African continent and, of course, in the global community when it comes to global issues like this?
Well, I think it was a very important summit outcome, the expansion of BRICS from the current 5 to 11 new members, which includes 2 African members, Egypt and Ethiopia. And I think there was a great deal of interest from 22 countries that formally approached BRICS leaders to become full members. And I think this is, again, a sign of confidence that over the past 15 years that BRICS has been meeting at summit level, that BRICS is standing for the right values, the values that champions the cause of the global south, especially the developing countries, including the African continent. And as you have seen that every time South Africa has chaired BRICS, including the 15 BRICS summit just concluded, the focus has been very sharply on the African continent. And we have been championing Africa's development with our BRICS partners. All of our BRICS partners are major investors and economic partners, as well as security partners of the African continent. And I believe the addition of 2 new members from the African continent, Egypt and Ethiopia, will further strengthen the presence of Africa within the BRICS configuration. Nigeria didn't formally approach BRICS about joining the bloc, but should Nigeria so decide, I believe Nigeria will add value to the group as being the largest economy on the African continent with the largest population and an influential African country. The stronger the African presence in the BRICS, I believe BRICS will play a pivotal role as the voice of the global south in shaping the evolving new global order. And rightfully so, Africa must be part of that.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Anil.
Thank you. Most welcome.